Absolutely.
And so what it is our focus is not the same as, going to the entire world, this thing, and we don't have the money. Okay, they have the money. So what it is they are much more into the talking about the world peace and how all of that, through yoga it helps and all of that. So each organization has its own place, and each does what seems to be part of the cosmic flow.
And I agree with you completely. They each can complement and supplement each other rather than replace one another.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you. Thank you.
Okay, so we can begin with 3 ohms as usual. Let's take a deep breath in. Our usual disclaimer: when we do this session, you take responsibility for your own well-being. Life in Yoga and I and our volunteers don't take responsibility for the outcome of your participation here. Therefore, please exercise caution in whatever you're doing. And the rule of yoga is there can be no strain whatsoever in what you're doing. So please make sure the effort is always mild and you're in a peaceful demeanor when you're doing everything. The good way to approach that is to watch your breath and make sure it is always slow and smooth. And as long as the breath is slow and smooth, you're unlikely to do any jerky motion or anything that can create strain in the system. So with that as the guidance, let's go on to the chakra vibrations. Bring your awareness to the perineum. And as you squeeze at the perineum, pressing on the little finger, we begin with Lam. Lam. Release the fingers and continue. Lam. Bring your awareness an inch above the perineum, and this is behind the pubic area. As you draw in there, we do Vam, pressing on the ring finger with the thumb. Vam. Vam. Release the fingers. Continue. Last time. Bring the awareness behind the navel, and as we draw in at the navel, we do Ram, pressing on the middle finger with the thumb. Ram. Ram. Release the finger, continue. Ram. Bring the awareness to the middle of the chest in between the breasts, and here we do Yum, and as we do that we press the index finger with the thumb. Yum. Yum. Release the hand. Continue. Yum. Last time. Yum. Bring the awareness to the throat, and here we do hum. As we begin hum, we keep the thumbs up, but there is one more thing I would like to add for all of you. Mentally visualize all of us who are in this virtual group are all within yourself. Then in which case it becomes the group consciousness that will have bigger impact on everyone together. So we do hum at the throat. Let's begin. Hum. Release the hand. Continue. Last time. Middle of the head, we do chum, thumbs up, loose fist. Chum. Chum. Release the hands. Continue. Last time. Top of the middle of the head, we do Om, thumbs up, loose fist. Release the hand. Continue. We'll keep the group consciousness throughout the session. Continue with your Ujjayi Pranayama. Keep your eyes closed. Those of you who know the pranayama, feel the sucking sensation, the mild sucking sensation in the throat, and continue. If any of you need further instructions, all it is focusing at the throat, making a big smile to get the stretch and keep the sucking sensation. Inhale and exhale in slow, deep breath without any strain whatsoever. So please continue. Dr. Rajinder Gandhi, it is not working well for you. Try to have a little more of a sucking sensation. When the Ujjayi is done right, some of you who are sensitive will start feeling a sensation in the head, essentially like the brain getting stimulated. So some of you may not feel it, but it is still happening. So please continue. Those who have tightness in your palms or wrist, you can stretch out the hands and make the palms perpendicular to the forearms, and you can do the Ujjayi. As we continue, we can go on to the shoulder rotations. Inhale in Ujjayi as you lift up the shoulders. Exhale, rotate it back and slowly bring it down and continue. Today being Sunday, we have the extra half-hour time in the end for anything you would like to discuss. You may have noticed earlier today, while doing the chakra vibrations, the sacral chakra, that is the Swadhisthana chakra, and the Manipur chakra, the navel chakra, it took a little longer and more repetitions for us. That seems to be the place where most of us need to work on. Whereas the heart chakra, the Anahata, and the throat and above, they were all very quick and clear. The Manipur chakra, the navel, is the seat of energy. So if anybody is feeling tired or the energy is distracted in different directions, that is where we would need to do more. It is also in the physical domain connected with the digestive system. The Swadhisthana chakra, the sacral chakra, from the psychic dimension, it is yourself. So you're not giving enough time to yourself. You're hurrying around if that is weak. From a physical dimension, it is the urinogenital area. Last shoulder rotation, and then as we continue the Ujjayi, we can bring the hands to the chest. And as you inhale, look up and stretch up. And as you exhale in Ujjayi, bring the hands by the side and slowly bring them in and continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now we continue the Ujjayi with the fist and bent at the wrist coming into the chest, chin down. As you inhale, open out the palms, stretch out as you look up. And exhale in Ujjayi and come in. Last stretching and exhale, come in. And now we go around the wrist as we open out the palms and we close the wrist and bring it in. Elbows in line with the shoulders. Continue the Ujjayi. Inhale and exhale. Last circle around the wrist, and now let's go backward as we do the same ujjayi. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now we'll go on to our, actually let's interlock the fingers and bring it behind the head. The knuckles are behind the head so that you can push on it and stretch out your elbows to make it perfectly at 180-degree angles from left to right. And as you exhale, twist to one side, inhale, come back. Exhale, twist the other way, inhale, come back, and continue. Last exhalation, inhale, come back. Get hold of the elbows behind the head. And as you exhale, pull on one elbow, inhale, come back. Exhale, pull on the other elbow, inhale, come back. And continue. Last exhalation, inhale, come back up. Now let's bring the hands behind the back, get hold of the elbows. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, twist to one side, inhale, come back. Exhale, twist the other way, inhale, come back, and continue. Last exhalation, inhale, come back. Get hold of your hips behind the back. And as you inhale, push on one side and make a backward arch. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, push on the other side. And exhale, come forward. And keep alternating the two sides. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now we will do our spinal twist with the sound R to the right, left, and back, and chin down, the humming sound Ma. So let's take a deep breath in, and as you twist to the right, to the left. To the back. Chin to the chest. Second round to the right. To the left. To the back. Chin to the chest. Third round, we will do twice in each direction to the right. Second time. To the left. To the back. Chin to the chest. Fourth round again, twice in each direction to the right. To the left. To the back. Chin to the chest. Now we cross one leg over the other, and as we pull at the knee on the top towards the opposite shoulder and turn the head the other way, we squeeze at the perineum and we do lum. Let's do this 5 breaths. So take a deep breath in. Two more breaths. Last time. Let's cross the other leg over again 5 times. One last time. Now we are ready to stand up. Oh, we want to do Om or Ah on the top of the head and then we'll stand up. So bring your awareness to the top of the head and Whichever you're comfortable with, ah or om, you can do that. Take a deep breath in. Second time. Last time. Take a moment to observe within yourself, right from the bottom of the feet to the top of the head, a certain sense of balance, openness, lightness, whatever you feel. And whenever you're ready, you can slowly stand up. And those of you who don't have good balance, you can stay seated. Those of you who are standing up, you can keep your feet shoulder width apart, inside of the feet parallel to each other, and get hold of the elbow behind the back. Take a deep breath in. As you inhale, lift up the chin and pull back the shoulders. And observe the stretch in the spine from the tailbone to the back of the head. Inhale and exhale into the stretch. With the next inhalation, shift the weight to the left leg and make the backward arch slightly tilted to the left. With the next deep breath, shift the weight to the right leg and make the backward arch slightly tilted to the right. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, make the weight equal on both the legs and make the backward arch straight back once again. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly come up. And with each exhalation, lean forward from the hips. Keep the chin up and shoulder pulled back. Inhale and exhale into the stretch. You feel from the hips all the way down to the feet. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, drop the hands towards the floor. If the hands don't reach the floor, hold your ankle, hold your legs anywhere, but don't bend the knee. Feel the stretch from the feet to the hips. Now take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, twist to the left and stay there. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, twist to the right. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, come into the middle. Now take a deep breath in, grab your ankles, and pull yourself even further down without dropping the head. Now take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, drop the head and try to bring it in between the knees. Take a deep breath in and slowly come up and bring your hands to your hips. Those of you who are doing this seated, if you feel comfortable enough to hold something for support and stand up, we will all go around the hips. Inhale half a circle, exhale, complete the circle, and continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation, one direction. Now let's go opposite. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now we can take a seat and we can do 6 breaths of alternate nostril breathing. Begin inhalation from the left nostril, exhale through the right, inhale through the right, and then exhale through the left. That's one pair. We do 2 more. Once you complete the last round, exhaling through the left nostril, we are ready to go on to the spinal mantra. So the instructions follow with it. We do the 7 mantras from the feet and ankle to the knees to the lowermost part of the spine, which is in between the buttocks and the back, and then the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, the cervical spine in the neck, and then in the back of the head, in the very top, called the Shikha point. The mantra for the feet and neck are the same, that is Aim. Now let us begin from the feet and ankle with mantra Aim, moving to knees where we vibrate Shim, and move on to the base of the spine where we do Jim. Aim, Shim, 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 Jim. Now we move from the base of the spine to the lumbar region, then to the thoracic or the back region of the spine with Jim, Jime, Hai. So let's go. Jim, Jime, Hai. 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 Now we move from the thoracic spine to the spine and the neck to the back of the head with Haim, Aim, Om. Let's go. Haim, Aim, Om. 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 Now we do all the 7 mantras in sequence, starting from the feet and ankle. Aim, Shim, Jim, Jime, Haim, Aim, Om. 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 Now we can go on to our Bhastrika Pranayam, the usual 3 rounds. Let's begin with exhalation. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2, exit. 3, exit. 4, exit. 5, exit. 6, exit. 7, exit. 8, exit. 9, exit. 10, exit. 11, exit. 12, exit. 13, exit. 14, exit. 15, exit. 16, exit. 17, exit. 18, exit. 19, exit. 20, exit. Ujjayi Kumbhaka followed by Brahmari. Let's get ready for the second round of Bhastrika. Exit. Inhale. Exit. 2, inhale. Exit. 3, exit. 4, exit. 5, exit. 6, exit. 7, exit. 8, exit. 9, exit. 10, exit. 11, exit. 12, exit. 30. Exhale. 40. Exhale. 50. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. Exhale. 90. Exhale. 20. Exhale. Ujjayi Kumbhaka followed by Bhramari. We can get ready for the last round of Bhastrika. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 13. Exhale. 14. Exhale. 15. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. Exhale. 90. Exhale. 20. Exhale. Keep the eyes closed. You can skip the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Instead, you can try only the Bhramari, and then we'll get ready for meditation. Take a deep breath in. Mentally tell yourself, I give up all ideas and concepts and I care about nothing. I let go of everything, I let go of everything, I let go of everything. As you let go of everything, feel a lightness come onto you. If you have a preferred method of meditation, you can do that. If not, visualize a rising vibration from the bottom part of the sternum going through the body and out of the top of the head. And you visualize that movement as 3 syllables. Haim Em Om, Haim Em Om, Haim Em Om. So please continue, and we will have Om playing in the background. Now mentally tell yourself, may I be guided to fulfill the purpose for which I am born. Become aware of the senses from the top of the head all the way down to the bottom of the feet. Whenever you're ready to, open your eyes You can raise the palm of your hands and look straight into the palm of your hands. Any of you who have any questions or comments or anything to discuss, you can unmute yourself and speak up. Anyone can unmute and speak up. Yes, please go ahead, Govardhanji.
Yeah, are you planning to go over one more time about Patanjali Yoga? You did that about a year ago or something like that.
Yes, actually, starting end of this month, I believe it is October 28th or 29th, whichever is the Saturday, we are beginning the Yoga Sutra session as part of the master class in yoga that we are doing. So the Yoga Sutra session will be for four sessions, four sessions of 3 hours each, and total of 12 hours. And then after that, it will go into the mechanism of yoga and overview of the Hatha Yoga, the Tantra Yoga, our pranayam, as well as meditation. So it is on weekends from end of October, the last weekend of October through December 18th. We take in between a break during the Diwali weekend as well as during the Thanksgiving weekend. So we have a break in between, but otherwise it runs during that period. So if you're interested in joining, what you can do is you can let me share the screen for you. You can see where it is in our if you go to lifeinyoga.org, it should be under events, but we can also look under upcoming events. Oh. Let's go to the top. In the events, if we look under courses, it will be there under master class course. So here you can see. So these are the dates over there. Oh, it goes up to December 16th is what I see, not 18th. Okay, so Those of you who want to see it can see it over there. Any other questions, discussions?
Dr. Rajan, Namaskar ji.
Namaskar ji.
Namaskar. I had some questions about your measured yoga therapy, and I wanted to know, does it work for most of the condition? And specifically, I'm asking for diabetes type 2. And what does it take now for that? And
Okay. See, what happens is our measured yoga therapy can work for diabetes or, for that matter, any other condition. However, what happens is we face two impediments. People typically who have diabetes also, if it is chronic of many, many years, they usually have other comorbidities as well. They may have hypertension, they may have, other kinds of issues that have come in. So what happens is, if we have only a single issue and no other issue, we can work with it very well. And but in most cases, we will be able to have what I will call as pretty much 100% recovery. Okay. But the trouble, because of the comorbidities involved, if a person is already on 5 or 6 medications for different conditions, then in which case it becomes very difficult. Because what happens is, we cannot give any guidance on a person to how to manage their medication when there are multiple issues involved, and it becomes very difficult. The second problem that we have relates to the same medication issue. That is, if you have only one condition, that is, you have poor, sugar control, then in which case, as it starts improving, you will need to cut out your medication. And of course, in the case of diabetes, it is relatively easy, because if you are looking at your sugar level and you see it is improving, then in which case, what you can do is, if your fasting sugar is coming back towards normal, you can start reducing the dosage of your medication on your own. But I cannot give you that guidance, because you see, anything that is in the zone of medication that has been prescribed by a doctor is really between the doctor and the patient, and we have no authority to give any guidance on it, right?
yeah.
So as long as, and you as a physician, of course, you can take that, initiative and do whatever you want. But if it is a singular issue, we can have great success in dealing with it. If there are multiple issues, it's a lot more complex.
Okay.
And because of the medication and interactions involved, it can be very difficult.
Thank you. And for somebody who has to schedule it, we just go ahead and call your. I am going to be myself in Chevy Chase, which I think is very, very close to your
Yes,
place.
yeah.
And so I was thinking, if I need to schedule something, shall I just call and make an appointment? Or?
Absolutely. What you should do is, actually, again, let me share the screen over here.
Mm-hmm.
If you go under lifeinyoga.org,
Mm-hmm.
go to the contacts page, and in the contacts page, talk to Avni. You have the phone number and email address right here. You have Avni's phone number right here, and you have
Okay.
her email that is below over there.
Right.
And call her, text her, send an email message to her, and she will send you a couple of forms. One is actually your entire history, and the
Right.
other consent form. And so we will evaluate it, and that will basically give us a guidance in terms of how to move forward.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
When are you coming?
The whole week for Thanksgiving, Monday to a Monday, like I think it's 22nd, something like that.
Yes,
too.
yes. So Thanksgiving period, no problem. We can do that.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. Mhm.
Sure. So Govardhanji, your hand is still up. I can bring it down. So, okay, it's gone. That's fine. Anybody else?
Rajanji.
Two people spoke. Ashokji, go ahead.
Ranji, I sent a text also. Basically, those 9 mantras or 7, I guess, for 9 points. Those are there something we can see it in writing? Those mantras, because I'm not sure I'm saying those correctly.
Okay. Yes, certainly. Actually, the mantras are very, very simple. There is the same mantra is there for the feet as well as for the back of the neck. That is Aim. So we begin with Aim, Shim, Jim, Jaim, Haim, Aim, Om. Actually, it's 7. You're talking about the spinal mantra, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it is 7 of them. Aim, Shim, Jim, Jaim, Haim, Aim, Om.
Okay. So if you can slow down for a second.
Yes.
I'm going to take the notes here.
Yes.
So I am.
Aim,
Maybe
Shim.
I'll write. Maybe I'll write the text so that everybody can see it too in the chat.
Actually, I can also put it in the chat box myself for everyone.
That'd be wonderful
Yeah.
if you could just put it in the chat box.
Yeah, and
Yeah, then everybody can see it. So I'm not chat box.
here it is.
Perfect. I'm Shim, Jim, Jen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are only 7. And 7,
Yes.
but there are 9 points, but 7.
No, there are no 9 points. It's all just 7. That is the feet, the knees, and then the coccyx and the sacrum. The third point, and then it's not a point; it's a region. And then the lumbar region is Jaim, and the thoracic region is Haim, and then the back of the neck is Aim, and the back of the head, top back of the head is the Om.
So there are really 7 of them.
Yeah.
But you were doing them in 3 and 3, but that was
Yeah, the 3 and 3 was we were overlapping. So it would go
overlap.
Aim, Shim, Jim, and then Jim, Jaim, Haim, and then Haim, Aim, Om.
Okay, I get it now. I was really getting confused. Okay, I thought there were 9 because you're doing 3, 3, 3, but they're really 7, and not that makes a whole lot of sense. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I think that would I will now. Yeah, now I understand. Perfect. So where do these mantras come from? What's the significance of these, and where do they come from? These mantras. You know?
See, what happens is we intuitively sense them and then we test them.
Oh,
And we test to see whether it is working, then we adopt it.
I see.
It is very interesting that one of the projects we had in mind, and by that time we found more interesting things to do is, I think you might be familiar with right frequency, right?
Yeah, right frequency.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. There was a person by the name of Royal Raymond Rife, and he actually developed, he looked upon all the elements in the body as vibrating at a certain frequency, and including all the pathogens and cells, everything. So what he did was, he developed a set of frequencies that that would be useful for different diseases. And then based upon the same principle, many of he's no more. He's dead and gone more than 50 years. So people who learned from him, they have developed the same thing. Actually, there is a whole set of researchers who have been working with, tuning forks. how tuning forks can create frequency resonance, right?
Yeah.
So people have been working with it, and it works in the same principle of mantras. But unfortunately, what happens is all of these things are good for certain people, but not for all. The reason is because a person who has diabetes, if you say, find me the mantra for the pancreas or whatever, then in which case that person is not the deficiency of the pancreas alone, but the person is the pancreas is part of the whole body. So what happens is, typically for therapeutic purpose, you need to customize it so that it is just not one particular mantra for part of the body. Now, in this particular case of the spinal mantra, we tested it and we found that it was useful. And the way in which we ran the test is, over a period of about 4 months, the people who were in this group, we ran this and we asked them, we asked initially for the people who had some kind of a pain, either in the knee or along the spine back, and then we took feedback. And when we took feedback, the interesting result we had was among all those who had pain, 80% of them had pain reduction or improvement. And there were 2 cases where they had chronic issues. One person had an issue with the knee. The other person had a very chronic issue with the neck. And both the knee and the neck got resolved 100%.
Wow.
For others, it was more like progressive, a reduction in symptoms rather than complete elimination. So the thing is, so we had about, if I remember correctly, 30 or 40 people who were part of the data that we did to collect. And so that is how we arrived at it. Now, the interesting part is, if you look at it from a scientific perspective, there could be multiple things happening. What is happening is the person is focusing along the spine, and the mental focus itself may be part of the healing. The vibration may be part of the healing, right? But the thing is, you see, we cannot parse them out. But when we see it is working for most of the people, we find it useful to do it. And we asked the folks over here how many people found it effective. And right now we have less than about 23 people over here, and at least half of them have been here long-term doing things, right? So how many people have found the spinal mantra useful? Can we have a show of hands? Okay, so people, those of you whose video is not on, you can show your hand in another way by clicking on this thing. So there have been substantial number of people who felt the difference. So that is how we ended up using it.
Interesting. So how long before people start to notice the impact?
Typically, I think it takes at least 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
But then these are only for people who have the pain conditions. And as I said, it is a reduction in pain as opposed to elimination of whatever the issue is. The principle around it is that there are people will develop pain for various reasons, and most commonly as people age, it is the disc between each vertebra. That disc tends to dry up. And the second element that is related to it is that the bones themselves can lose their bone density. And as a result of it, the nerves that are flowing through the spine and coming out of the spine, they can impinge on something, and that can result in the problem. So it appears that by doing this, we have not been able to get any kind of clinical data to see what is the change that happened through an MRI or whatever to the disc or this thing. That we don't have. So at this point in time, based on response of how people feel, that is how we have kind of kept it going.
I see. That's pretty fascinating. Thank you. I think that's good to know.
Somebody else had in the middle spoken. Did anybody else have a question or thought?
Spinal mantra is for reducing the pain on the spine.
Yeah, it is related to a pain in the ankle, knees, and the spine.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Rajan, could a measurement of the distances between the vertebra will be helpful for making it a very quantitative thing?
You're basically suggesting whether there is a way in which we can measure to see whether the spine became more elongated or something?
No, because you were mentioning drying up and the shrinking. So,
see, Rajit, I understand what you're saying, but you see, all those kinds of measurements have to happen within the conventional measurements that are used in the medical field. And that means, of course, it has to go through the conventional medical side, typically whether it is orthopedists or whether an MRI and things like that. And that again costs, and we need a partner to do, a medical partner to do that and all of that. So from our perspective, based on the feedback we have gotten from majority of the people, it seems to work, and we have left it at that.
okay. All right. Thank you.
It is much more complicated if we have to go through conventional medicine and the costs and all of that. And as an organization, we are not built for that.
Yeah, that is very true, but that becomes very definitive once you get that kind of evidence.
I agree with you. The thing is basically we now have actually a different way in which we can measure, which we didn't have before. The Metatron technology that we have, with the Metatron technology, we can actually look at the person before, when they have the pain condition, and we can have them do this for 3 weeks, and then we can go and take another Metatron scan, and we can actually go through the spine and see where changes have taken place. That may be something. We didn't have that with us more than a year back, and we have been doing this now for about 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So we can do that. So if anybody who is new, who has a back pain or knee pain or something, then in which case we can take them and do a study on that.
Well, in my particular case, my back pain recently has started, so I don't think it has anything to do with the exercises, but it has just to do getting old, I guess.
Yes, and in fact, I am part of the same club with you. The thing is basically every day when I wake up, I wake up with the achy hips. My entire pelvic area is achy, and I have to go daily on for stair climbing and jogging. If I do stair climbing and jogging, then my my pelvic pain gets reduced. And once I take a hot shower, warm shower, all the pain goes away, and I'm okay for the rest of the day.
Thank you very much.
And there's one other thing which I've been using lately. There is something called the Chi machine. And I think we showed you when you came to Professor Ashok Agrawala's place, right?
I think you did, yes.
Yeah. I find the Chi machine also very useful.
Yeah. And my only point was, and I pointed out to you earlier also, any machine-based measurement will make it more
yes, more objective. And I agree with you. And I think the Metatron is something that I'm thinking of that will give us a machine-based measurement.
Because when you just ask people how they feel, sometimes they're themselves feeling is not very accurate because,
I agree with you completely. I don't disagree.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions, thoughts, comments?
Dr. Rajan,
Yes.
today when we were doing the Ujjayi Pranayama, you were saying something about the chakras. Can you explain that? I didn't get it. Yes.
Yes. You see, what it is when I work with the whole group, I kind of tune into the group consciousness of everyone, right? So when we tune into the group consciousness, we are working, when we repeat in each chakra, lam, vam, and all of that, we do enough so that for the group as a whole, in the group consciousness, that chakra is open. And how do we know it is open? When I think of the group as a whole and I vibrate in any chakra, lam or vam or whatever, I have to feel the resonance of it go through the top of the head. Even though we are focused in one place, it should go to the top of the head. So what happened is, I have generally found that within our group over here, the lower chakra, in some days it is the Muladhara also. But today, of course, it was the Swadhisthana and the Manipura that is behind the navel and behind the, sacral area. These were the places where we needed to do many more times. But once we came to the Anahata, the throat and this, it was much faster. We needed to do only like 2-3 times. Because and of course, I'm not surprised anymore, because the group as a whole that comes, the Anahata Chakra, which is what I call, being a humanitarian approach, having a sense of openness and caring towards all. You don't have a sense of narrowness. This opens up for most people who are who come over here. So we need to do very little Anahata. Vishuddhi is expression, and then the ENT area. If the throat and nose and things are severely blocked, we'll need to do many times. And then, of course, these centers would all, the Agnya Chakra is the controller of all the lower chakras. If the lower chakras are cleared up, you need less to do on the top over here. So that is what I was saying, that for this group, the navel chakra indicates the level of energy. So maybe our energy is not enough vitality, aging population, or maybe there is mind getting diverted in different places, so the energy is being dispersed. And the Swadhisthana, that is behind the sacrum, or behind the sacral pubic area in front of the sacrum bone, that area is about taking care of yourself. It is the zone of the self where you need to give enough time and attention to yourself. If you're not giving enough time and attention to yourself, that area can weaken. So that is where today I saw. Each day it may vary a little bit. In other days I have seen the Muladhara we need to do many more times before we are ready. And that's the day I would imagine people may have tightness and pain in the body. And so we need to do many more times before it clears up.
Thank you, Dr. Rajan. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Namaste.
So see you all tomorrow. Namaste.
Namaste.